Hello, friends. It's Kat from Meow Meow Kapow. Let's get right into the facts here because there's about to be a whole lot of fiction up in this thing. First of all, if you're not aware of what the Animal Artists Collective, or AAC, are, check the doobly-doo for more info. There's links to the channels of our other artists, how you can participate, what charity I'll be donating to with the proceeds from this piece once someone purchases it, and even how you can vote on our next topic. This time, we went with extinct animals, and for me, that's kind of hilariously appropriate. You see, I'm not super great at being a normal human and discussing normal human topics with people. I know, it's a real shocker given how I just used the phrase normal human so many times in a row that I haven't figured out how to be one. Anyway, I have a few stock questions that I ask when I'm not sure how to progress in a conversation. One of which is, if you were a dinosaur, what kind would you be and why? And please, do feel free to answer. I love hearing people's reasonings. Years ago, I realized that my own answer to this question needed to be realistic, in a way. See, I've got a big old booty and managed to knock over basically everything in my path anywhere I walk. It's not that I'm ungraceful, it's that I love big, flowy dresses and have very little spatial awareness, often due to chasing butterflies in my own head. So, much like the Ankylosaurus, my booty is dangerous to anything around me. Which is why I decided to paint this cutie booty. Lately, I've been reconnecting with oil paints, a medium that I haven't used in over a decade, so I decided to experiment with them for this AAC video. If you're interested in purchasing the final painting or any of the supplies I used, they're all linked in the doobly-doo as well. Anyway, dinosaurs are cool and all, but if I were to tell you any facts about them today, they'd likely be wrong tomorrow. Dino facts are constantly in flux because we honestly can't know how things were. We can really only speculate. What colors were they? What exactly did they eat? What were their natural lifespans? Does the brontosaurus even exist? Seriously, dino fact is basically as good as dino fiction. So let's make some dino fiction. What follows is a story I made up just now because why not? It was like any other day during the Cretaceous period, and Annika the Ankylosaurus had big plans for her little body. Sure, the other Ankylos teased her because she was only 20 feet long, practically a runt compared to her brothers and sisters. But in her giant dino heart, she had dreams. She had goals. She was going to make her mark on the world. Other sauruses were going to remember her name. As she waddled her way towards the far side of the field, she grazed on the grasses and weeds along the trail to her destination. No use letting good food go to waste. Besides, digging a hole to the center of the planet was hungry work and nobody was helping her do it. For weeks now, Annika had been working away at a pit that was steadily growing deeper than anything she'd ever seen before in all her 16 years on this planet. Most others thought she was getting a bit kooky in her middle age, going out into the fields and digging holes, but Annika knew there was something out there. During a fight with one of her brothers, their massive hammer tails continuously impacted the ground in random spaces, kicking up dirt and debris for almost an hour until her brother coldly incapacitated her and left her passed out in their mess. She woke up later, hurt, confused, and alone. And mad. So mad, she threw a temper tantrum herself about how poorly the fight had gone for her, and how pissed she was that the tiny little Ankylosaurus was going to look like a diminutive weakling once again. As she released her fury and frustration on the ground beneath her, Annika started to notice some strange things being unearthed around her. At first, it was just bones and stones and dirt. Normal no matter where or when you found yourself digging, but then strange items started to appear. What seemed at first to be some sort of curved red stone turned out to be a flattened piece of clay with designs and images inscribed on it. Then there were brittle pieces of flimsy material that were solid but easily crushed with the barest of pressure and came in a multitude of colors, most of which Annika didn't even have words to describe. Ever since that first day, more and more strange artifacts have appeared as the pit has grown deeper. Pieces of material as thin as tree leaves but softer and stronger, large discs of some thick, bouncy black substance, even half an item with two of those black discs attached to the bottom of it, and some transparent pieces of something like clear but solid water stuck into a firm, blue-colored frame. Deeper and deeper, Annika dug as though possessed with an unquenchable thirst for answers, until one day, her pit no longer had a bottom. She widened the hole and looked down into it, wonders unlike anything she'd ever seen before greeting her. Scents and sounds that were indescribable drifted up towards her from what seemed like an entirely different world, down here in the center of the earth. Looking back up briefly at where she'd come from, Annika knew there was only one thing left to do. Continue. And that's it for my little story about Annika. I'm curious as to what you think happened next. Did she make new friends? Did she accidentally break everything with her big old swinging booty? Did Annika get worshipped as a god for coming from a hole in the sky, or as a plague for the same reason? Let me know. And if you're interested in purchasing this mini oil painting with its super cute standing easel, there's a link in the doobly-doo where it will be sold. I'm kind of loving these little canvas panels and their companion easels, so I've been experimenting with using them more and more. So far, both gouache and oil paint have taken to them really well, and I bet if you use acrylics, they'd be a boon too. If you happen to notice that the pencils I used in the beginning were water-soluble graphite and wanted to know why, it's because they wouldn't be broken down by the linseed oil or the oil paints themselves. I used the water-soluble graphite because it would only be broken down by water, meaning I'd still be able to see my sketch as long as I didn't cover it up too thickly with paint. That's a tip for you if you decide you want to try out oil painting. I like the medium a lot because it's opaque like gouache and acrylics, but it dries super slowly and it's absurdly easy to blend, meaning you can get smooth gradients pretty much without trying. It can be intimidating, and I haven't played with oil paints for so long, but gosh if it hasn't been fun reaching deep down into my memories and seeing what I can still figure out. Please, don't forget to check out everyone else's videos from this series. We've got some super cool people in this group. Until I see you next time, I wish you peace, love, and digging deeper.